When this cloud finally puts you down, what do you see around you?
So I'm not of here, and it's this beautiful, like there's a lot of pastel energy, like purples and pinks, and it was almost like this water space, where there was a waterfall, and the mantis beings did show themselves to me.
Yes, we haven't channeled the mantis yet.
Yes, so there's a mantis being, and there's like this beautiful skyscape behind them. It's all pastel with like clouds behind them. It's a very beautiful scene where they're at. Um,
I
yeah,
have
it feels very.
actually heard that their planet is very beautiful and that its sky is like pink and purple.
Yeah, I've never visited their planet before, but that's what they're showing me. I mean, it is a very beautiful place. And they're really of love. Like the energy of love and healing is what they're encompassing.
So we haven't channeled the mantis beings yet. So could you just tell us a little bit about their collective and who they are?
Their collective is one of wisdom, of one of higher perspectives. Their collective is very, they show up as a lot of uh, starseed spirit guides, as far as they remind me of the senseis, like the master splinters, if you will, of the Teenage Mutant Ninja. Like that's kind of what they're showing, is like they come in to really help guide and bring that wisdom of like ancient, not ancient, but it has the energy of ancient wisdom. And they have access to the ways of using your bodies and ways of using energy and the chi force to be healing and to be protectors and to be guides.
I have also heard that mantis light language is very powerful. How do they use light language? What kind of things do they use it for healing?
They use light language for communication. Like they're showing everything is done from the third eye. Like everything is done from the crown and third eye. Like they are the ones that you can, like they just send information, and the information is created within the like symbol energy that they send it. So they send the energy from third eye to third eye, and it's a complete communication as far as the language that's encompassed in there. Like it's very when they send it through their third eye, like it's, you can see almost like a hologram of that symbol being like carried through the air, and then it lands in the other being's third eye, and that encompasses like full on just worlds of information. Like when it lands there, it's like a story, a background. It's just like a full world of information that is encompassed within that encoded light language. It's very phenomenal. It's almost like a book. Like you could send a book of information through just one symbol.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. Could we do that in our own life now?
If you master your skills, you can, but it's very rare. You have to be
So,
very, like they're showing me very committed, almost like where you see the Buddhists and monks, how they are just spend their lifetime committed to the masteries, that you could come to that place. But to, if you don't commit to that level, you're not going to be able to do that on this dimension.
I also heard that the mantis beings were the scientists of the universe. Is there any truth to that?
There are parts of the collectives that have worked on that project, but the mantis, showing the mantis beings have worked with the hybridization program pretty extensively. And so that's where the perception of being a scientist and the scientists of the universe can come to play. But really the mantis beings, or are more of the, that I'm channeling, are more of the guides and the gurus. and the wisdom of that ancient knowledge.
So what kind of ancient knowledge do they hold? Like, is it Earth ancient knowledge or is it ancient knowledge of the
It's
universe?
galactic ancient knowledge, yes, of the universe. So it's the knowledge of the creation, it's the knowledge of how to work with the energies and how to use your bodies to actually unlock all of those energies and all of those creation energies and all of those what you would call superpowers. So they're really of the mind and the spirit and the body, like aligning those to, like, they don't use technology. They don't use what they would call AI or the technology of Earth. They don't use those whatsoever. They have completely mastered the skills of using the body as a technology.
So if we wanted to reach out to a mantis being, how would we do it?
You want to reach out to the mantis being, you just would sit in meditation, quiet your mind, and set the intention to connect with the mantis being. And not all mantis beings will show themselves to you. It is depending on your intention of what you would like to connect with. If you are wanting to set the intention to master and understand and unlock your body's skills and abilities, and to work with they're really using the word chi, the energy of the universe, the energy of life force, the energy of chi. If you're wanting to align with, to master those skills and have greater understandings, that you can set that intention within meditation, and then the mantis beings will show up. However, they're not going to just show up for anybody. They're not, like, they're showing me it's not that they're not as easily as accessed. It's that they really understand that they're going to show up and bring their wisdom for those that are seekers, the seekers of the universe, that the ones that aren't as committed to that and not on their spiritual journey as far as wanting to really apply and understand the lessons, that they're not going to give that wisdom to and understandings to, because they really value and understand and respect that energy and those lessons. And so it's kind of, in a layman's term, this is not really their term. It is my interpretation of their term. They're not going to waste their time on someone who doesn't respect the energy.
Why is chi so important? What can they tell us about that life force energy?
Chi is everything. And once you master chi, you master in everything. Once you understand and respect and can work with chi and can feel it, you can use chi for everything, to whether it be healing, whether it be teleportation, whether it be light language, whether it be like, they're showing me everything that you consider a superpower is by understanding and respecting chi and understanding that you are chi.
So chi is just a natural force of the universe.
Yes.
So what can we do to start working with our chi?
You can work with each individual chakra. So you can move down. The one thing you can do, start with, is you can just acknowledge that chi exists. So you're going to hold your hands about 6 inches apart, maybe closer, and you're going to start to ask to open up your hands, the energy centers within your hands. And you're going to feel that there's a ball of energy within that force of your hands. And as you start to feel that energy and you start to bring attention to that energy, you can now pull apart your hands a little bit more and more and more and more, and feel that chi just being like universally balanced and growing within that energy field. And you can start to pull your hands apart, part and part, more and more, until you can grow and feel that chi has always existed within that space, that chi is always there, that chi is there. And now, but your attention is going to it, and you're understanding, you're attuning to that energy. And once you start working with that, you can work with each chakra and understand in the same way. You can either use that energy force and place your hands above each chakra and feel that energy force and sit with it and feel, what does that feel like to you? What is that energy force telling you? And place it and guide it over each energy field, each chakra within your body, and work with it and ask it what it's showing to you, what you're feeling with it. And start to really work with it in that way. Just work with it on healing self and understanding self. And when you are to a better place of getting to a practice of working with chi on yourself, you can start using it in other ways, and it'll start unveiling to each chakra how you can work with it.
Yes, I love that so much. And it's the coolest thing when you actually start feeling the chi of your body and the chi around your body, because it's been there this whole time, but it's incredible when you're able to like move it and flow with it, and you understand more that you are energy. So anybody interested in just like qigong and start working with your chi, I just started with 10-minute qigong videos on YouTube just to get an introduction to it, and then you can create your own flow states where you feel yourself working with this energy. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. And once you start to heal yourself with and work with yourself of this chi energy, that it
Carrie, you muted yourself. Oh,
are we good?
yeah, you muted yourself.
My chi force was too much for my technology. It's like there we go.
That's
Hopefully that
funny.
will that happens when I'm moving my hands, talking about chi force, feeling the chi force, and then
So I do have a question. Is Reiki energy the same as chi?
yes,
So you're just calling in the chi for healing?
yes, you're holding a space with the chi for healing, and there has to be a contract. There has to be the one that you're working with, the other person that you would be working with, there has to be a contract that they're ready for that healing. So you can hold a space with the chi force, you hold a healing space, if you will. And it has to be about the empowerment of the human that you're working with to step into that place of chi force, the healing chi force, to accept the healing. So really, you're not healing, you're holding that space, and it has to be a contract. There are some contracts where the healing is, um, not supposed to happen because it's their life contract. But that is why you can have profound healing with Reiki, is because when you are working with the higher selves of the client or the person that is receiving the Reiki, once you're able, they step into that empowerment of wanting to be healed. That beautiful life force energy is being at that space, is there to heal and to bring greater perspective and understanding.
So I've been watching a lot of Kundalini videos lately, just an interest in Kundalini, and you see those healers that it's almost like Reiki and they're moving the energy to activate people's Kundalini. Do they have these contracts with these people to activate their Kundalini and that's why it's working?
Yes.
That is so interesting, but it makes sense.
Yeah, so you can't send healing, even when you say, like, I'm sending you love or sending you healing, it's all free will here. So if that being that you're sending healing to or sending love to doesn't want to accept the love or healing, it's not going to happen. They're
So
only
if
going to they're only going to absorb it when they make the understanding that they want to have the choice to receive that.
so if somebody felt like they were ready to activate their Kundalini, and say they decided to go to one of these classes or events to have their Kundalini activated, to go into the full Kundalini awakening, is them making that decision to go to that event enough to create that contract?
Yes and no. If they want that so bad, but that contract is against what they have already asked their higher self to for the experience of, that the higher self will not override that contract that they have. So they may have a different experience. So they may go there and say, I want that and I receive that, but it may not be in their life contract. So something else may happen as a result of them wanting to. The higher selves may use that opportunity to unveil other things that they wanted to work on within that Kundalini, awakening. So there are multiple things, but for the most part, the answer is yes. Unless the higher self feels like it will go against the contract. There are some that star seeds that have consciously wanted to, within the contracts, not have this higher information here on earth, because it's like they wanted to really test themselves of how they could experience the earth experience without any of their superpowers, without any of their energy, life force receptors being activated. They're like, I want to navigate this and get the best score, basically with blinders on. Like they're wanting to really master the skills of this human experience. And so their higher selves can't go against that contract. They're not going to awaken the Kundalini, because that's going to then give them access to all of the things that they've had access to and that they are very comfortable with using. And they're doing them a disservice by not giving them that experience and that challenge to see how well they can do in the earth game.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And a lot of I've seen a lot of other videos of dangers of awakening your Kundalini, fears around awakening your Kundalini, like why you should be afraid of it or why you shouldn't do it. Why is there so much fear around Kundalini?
Is because people have tried to access it and awaken it when they're not ready for it. They haven't mastered the lower skills and they haven't mastered their alignment, and they try to speed up evolution that much more quick within getting that information. So it is too much for them to handle, and not having connection with their higher selves. Now, if they had if anything was provided that was in too much intensity, even these energies you experience within earth, if they become too much, but you ask you acknowledge to your team, like, hey guys, need this tuned down. It's too much for my experience and I need it just lowered down. Even like ringing in your ears, you can do the same thing. But if you're not even have a connection with your higher selves to even have that conversation with them, to use your free will to allow them to adjust things for you, and you awaken your Kundalini, it can be overpowering. And, um, but it's also another tool for you to create a higher connection with your higher team. So that's what the fear is it's a lot. And if you're not prepared and you're not grounded, you're not aligned, that it can really cause you to kind of short circuit.
So if we want to start raising our Kundalini, what are things that we can do?
Really working with all of your chakra systems in unison. You can really start just imagining those operating systems within your body, and working with them every day. And then like you start engaging them individually, like just from head to toe, and then you start working with them uh, in unison, I guess, if you will. They're showing me like really working with them together as a collective whole. And then once you start activating them, really make sure that energy is just flowing, then that natural Kundalini energy. But they're also showing me breathing from really the pelvic area, like circulating your breaths from that place helps with that energy circulation and the awakening as well.
Does every single being of the universe always have 7 main chakras? I know they have more chakras than that, but do they always have like the 7 main chakras? Is that something that a being needs to survive?
In the universe, no, there are more chakras in the universe on 3D Earth. 7 chakras, yes.
Well, so I know even even humans have like 114 or 144, but the 7 main ones. So the crown, third eye, throat, down to the root, does that manifest in all beings of the universe?
Right. So the main ones of the higher dimensional beings, there are more main ones.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Like they're showing me in 5D, it's like 9 main chakras.
Do they include the chakra above the head and below the feet?
Yes. But that's one of their main ones. Like they don't consider that with humanity, them including those in their main chakras here on Earth.
That makes sense. That also makes sense why I feel so called to activate them now as we're going into the 5D. That's actually really cool. Is there so is the mantis beings, are they invested in the human evolution at all?
It does not directly affect their collective. They are invested in the sense of the Galactic Federation. Like they have gone on to the Galactic Federation and they help that way because they almost outsource. The Galactic Federation used the collectives that were directly affected by the Earth project, and then they also had a need for that guidance of what the mantis beings could bring, and so they somewhat sent out like an outsourcing. They're like, we know you're not involved in this, but we'd like you to be a part of our guidance table and the evolution table of understanding like how we can best work with humanity and the other collectives on Earth. And so we are part of the council, and that is why we are invested and we show ourselves and we bring that wisdom. But because it doesn't directly affect us, is why we don't work with all of the beings on Earth that seek out to work with us, is because we only want to bring forth our, like they're showing their resources to those who can greatly benefit from their guidance.
Amazing. Do the mantis beings have any final messages for us today?
They said that the information that has come through Carrie is encoded with a light language, if you will. So those who listen to this will be activated and will be engaged at like they're showing me like all their chakras. Like the light language is going to be infused within their DNA, within their cells, within their bones, and it will be a greater awakening for understandings and wisdom. So they're activating even in this transmission.
That's beautiful. I'm sure we all appreciate it. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming forward today. We were so excited to finally be able to speak with you.
Thank you. We're excited as well.